What's up, everybody? It's your boy Q Hicks, and I'm back with another video on why this year's Gonzaga team is great and why they are better than last year. If this is your first time on the channel, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's dive into it. Let's start off with why Gonzaga is a great team in a college season where many teams haven't looked the part. First and foremost, they are the best overall team if you look at net ratings, being number 1 in offensive rating and number 4 in defensive rating on the season. They have the number 1 scoring offense, and they are one of the best in the nation in block shots while doing a multitude of other things well. So statistically, they have been one of the best teams in the nation on both sides of the ball. I know most love to use the strength of conference excuse with Gonzaga, but they are 12th in the country in strength of record, and they have shown they can play with top teams in the country, beating UCLA, Texas Tech, and Texas. They are the number 1 team right now and are the favorites going into the NCAA tournament. But does this year's greatness compare to last year? Now let's take a look back at the 2021 Gonzaga team. They went undefeated in the regular season, had one of the best college teams in recent memory, made it all the way to the national championship game, and had 3 players go to the NBA in Jalen Suggs, Corey Kispert, and Joel Ayayi. Most would say you can't get better than that, but statistically they have been better or just as good this year. Let's take a side-by-side look. They are just as efficient as last year, they are the best scoring offense in the country like last year, and have 5 players averaging double figures with just as many pro players on the team, and I would say they are a deeper team too. But an argument one would use against this year's team is they just aren't as dominant, or they didn't go undefeated throughout most of the season like last year's team. But I don't think the record tells the full story or shows that one team is better than the other, and we seen that in the championship last year with Baylor, who had multiple losses. Earlier in the year, Gonzaga lost some tough games to Duke and Alabama. But this team is younger than last year and had to gain experience, and we're seeing a growth in confidence from players that wasn't there earlier in the season. But the biggest difference between this year and last year is defense, and Chet Holmgren is the biggest reason for that. It's not like the 2021 Zags were a bad defensive team. They were actually pretty good, sitting at 21st in defensive rating, and were a top team in steals for the season and could be very disruptive. But this year, the Zags are 4th in defensive rating, and they average 6.8 steals per game and are tied for 7th in the nation with 5.9 blocks per game, and they are forcing teams to shoot 37% from the field, and a big part of that is Chet altering or blocking shots, averaging 3 blocks a game. They didn't have that last year. The only thing they were missing was a shot blocking big, but with Chet, the Zags have everything. Timme has been one of the best players in the country for the past couple of seasons. Chet is coming into his own. Andrew Nembhard is playing like a top 3 point guard in the country, and guards Rasir Bolton and Julian Strother are replacing the shooting hole left by Kispert and Ayayi. And 2 of the 3 players coming off their bench are 5-star recruits building confidence. But if Gonzaga is going to cut down the championship nets, Chet will have to be the most dominant player on the floor, and he's growing into that type of presence right now. He's averaging about 17 points and 12 rebounds in his last 9 games, and has had 4+ blocks in 5 of those games. Add to it that the NCAA tournament is all about who has the best guards, and there's an argument Gonzaga has the best trio in the country in Nembhard, Strother, and Bolton, and you already know what you're going to get from Timme. I compared this year's Gonzaga team to the 2016-17 Zags with Nigel Williams-Goss, Zach Collins, Josh Perkins, and Karnowski. They made it to the national championship game but lost to North Carolina in heartbreaking fashion. But that team played through their bigs, and they could beat you in a multitude of ways. 5 players averaged double figures, and their guards made huge plays and hit big shots in crunch time, and this Zags team has that same type of DNA. This team has everything they need to win a championship. It just comes down to if Chet will continue this level of play in the postseason. I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you got all the way to the end, I really rock with you. If this is your first time on the channel, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, and definitely let me know what you would like to see next. And we out. Peace.